You did an extraordinary job tackling the challenges over the past couple of days, and David and I have had some time to talk together about what we think you could have improved on and also what you succeeded in. We're going to start off with you, Brian. What do you think, David?
Well, Brian, you did a great job with the pig challenge this morning. You really grabbed the wheelbarrow and went right for it. It's not the easiest thing to do, obviously, but you did a really nice job with that. And at Cook & Brown, you did a nice job with the design and taking some lead from Yelitsa, and it showed. It looked like a great effort.
Brian, I think you did a wonderful job being a teammate in both of these challenges, but I liked how you were able to take direction from other people. How did you fare when you had to be actually outside in the pig pen?
Well, I realized that I would not be a very good farmer. I would much better use my talents rather in an indoor environment.
Well, how about this? Do you ever think that a filmmaker would have to be outside in the elements, possibly getting his hands dirty?
Yeah.
How did Bianca fare?
As for at Cook & Brown, the drink was lovely. You did a nice job putting that together, learning how to mix a cocktail, or a mocktail in this case, and it was a nice touch.
Even though you don't know necessarily where you're going to go in your career, speak up in all of the challenges that you do come up with. I noticed while you were in the pig pen, you were getting a little flustered because possibly some of the matter was being shoveled upon you.
I think that in any given situation, it's important to be patient. I mean, the stench was very potent, so while I was there, I was like gagging. Once I was a little bit more patient, I was like, okay, it will be over soon. I have 2 more teammates helping me out. I think that's very important.
All right, next up is TJ. I know that you didn't necessarily enjoy getting your hands dirty, but now that you're a CNA and you have the aspirations to become a pediatrician, you might have to do that from time to time. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about not eating pork no more. I'm sorry.
TJ, it's clear that of all the tasks that you were given, being a farmer, an animal farmer is probably not something you'll ever want to do again.
Now I understand why they say teamwork makes the dream work, because if my 2 partners wasn't there, I would have never pushed that car full of number 2s, you know. But it was fun, you know. I mean, not fun, I lied. It wasn't fun, but you know.
Isabel, you did a great job following Jesse's lead, and that is really important when you go into the real world, to be able to take guidance from your leader.
Thanks.
However, I think you could have spoken up a little bit in some of these tasks. What do you think?
I do agree with you on that. I do tend to try to solve problems on my own and not seek out help initially.
What did you learn from these challenges?
Well, one of the things I think I'm going to take from this experience is that even if you have your dream job, not all aspects of it are going to be everything you've dreamed about. There is always going to be something that isn't particularly what you want to do, but if you want to have your overall goal, you just need to power through it. Yeah.
I'm glad that this was a learning experience for you. David, how do you think Yelitsa did?
Well, I think Yelitsa was just second to TJ in her dislike for the pig pen challenge. But, you know, she did the job. She did the job at hand. I don't think it'll be something she'll wanted to do again. At the restaurant, she did a nice job with the design. She led Brian well, and she put together a nice table.
I agree, the table was beautiful. The thing that I liked about your working at the restaurant is you asked Brian for advice. However, I didn't get to see much of that while you were in the pig pen. I know that you want to be a creative director, so my biggest suggestion to you is to sometimes ask for advice, especially when you're in the creative field. It's sometimes good to get more heads and more minds in on a project, even if you don't use their advice. And I'm excited to see how you grew in this project. So what do you think?
I often tend to be independent, if I need this job done, I'm gonna do it myself, but relying on people and having them help you, it helps with the process.
I agree. Last, certainly not least, Jesse. This was your dream career. David, how do you think Jesse did?
Jesse, you know, I thought this is a very important challenge for you, from the process of the farm through the end result at the restaurant. I think it's important for any chef in this day and age to understand where their food comes from, how it's raised, how it's produced in regards to either meat or vegetables, and you took that whole chain and figured out what to do with it and gave us a really nice dish at the end result.
How do you think Jesse will fare on his dream of becoming an executive chef?
Well, I think there's a lot of different roles being executive chef and owning your own restaurant. The word chef, to a lot of people, just means cook, but to me and to those of us in the industry, chef means the person who's running the kitchen, running a brigade, and that's really what you have to do. And you worked well with your team. You were able to give them guidance and focus and to turn out an end result. But you'll also have to remember, that there's all the other aspects such as the cocktails and the front of house management and, bookkeeping and HR and all those other things that go into running a restaurant.
Jesse, you did brilliantly in these challenges. My one suggestion to you is to exude more confidence with your team, because your team is looking to you for leadership and they're going to be doing that in the kitchen. How do you think you did?
I definitely shoveled the hell out of that pig poop.
You did though.
And I was really proud of my plates that came out. That was something I really love focusing on, especially. It was really nice to see that people could take direction from me without having to ask multiple times, and especially without them having such a background. So it means I can communicate well, can be a leader, which makes me feel great.
What do you think you struggled with during these challenges?
I think my biggest struggle was I was focusing too much on the big picture. I stayed very reserved and introverted for a lot of it, and I shouldn't have been like that. I should have been much more talkative with my team, and it's something I've been trying to work on myself, just in the kitchen I work at currently, because I know it's a flaw of mine.
What do you think you learned from these challenges?
I loved it. It was great to actually go into a restaurant where everything was seasonal and fresh and not from a factory being produced like that. So I really got to see how a really great kitchen runs that uses every part of what comes in and that highlights flavors of the seasons. And I do work in a kitchen, but we don't work anywhere near towards that level.
Thank you all so much for coming along on this adventure, and thank you too, David. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Tune in to see what happens next time on When I Grow Up.